In a year of flops in the video game industry, one project earmarked for failure managed to turn it around, and that would be the Silent Hill 2 remake. Now, I've heard a couple of things. Some of the character models are still as borked as everybody originally seen them. There's been some very strange, and especially if you know, there's one gentleman's club depicted. It's got a really strange neon light, but outside of a few visual alterations and the fact that, you know, the game kind of runs a little bit janky on high-end hardware, it's good. Is the game that you remember, just simply updated for, yeah, a modern audience, but it's not throwing anybody off right now, because there you see the release, earlier this week, and then it's just been on an upward trajectory because it, unlike many other contemporaries, actually has good word of mouth, so you love to see it, and then you also see something else that's going on out here. I find this very interesting because a lot of the trepidation when it comes to recommending this remake, especially from Bloober Team, with all of their little caveats, was one of the first acknowledgments from Konami when they said that, yep, Bloober Team is hard at work at this, and you know what, they're updating this classic for, say it with me, a modern audience, which they meant it in earnest. Like, it wasn't meant to say that, yeah, we're just going to go and we're just going to change a couple of things that might not be so sensitive for 2024. They might have worked in the early 2000s, but this time around, yeah, no, not quite. We're just going to try to make it appeal to a broader audience. That's actually not what they meant. What they actually meant was quality of life improvements, making the controls work a little better, all of the stuff that you would want in a remake or a remaster without any of the trappings of a modern day remake or a remaster. So Konami deletes post announcing Silent Hill 2 remake was designed for modern audiences. Yeah, it's strange, right? Because they got the screenshot of this, because I remember it. I remember when it first came up. But no, it just gets referenced. At the end of May, Konami published a post on X that has since been deleted, where it announced, see how Bloober Team, devs working on Silent Hill 2 preserved authenticity while adapting a horror classic for modern audiences. And yes, it got so much flack for that statement, justifiably so, because, yeah, you know, you see a AAA company, you see Konami coming back after their years and years of stupid decisions, and you think, yeah, we've seen this script before, don't get too excited for this. Ah, crap, there's another one that's just going to chalk up to failure. But time and time again, you'd have the people working on this project, and they sound like, please, because they were sounding awfully desperate not but a month ago. It's like, just give our game a chance, guys. Come on, it'll be great. And well, people are giving it a chance, and well, it's turned out well for them. I think the biggest change that we've had was actually how to make a game approachable for a newcomer who has not played the original, and at the same time retain the familiarity of the game that players remember from 20 years ago. Yeah, that's so far from what we're seeing. That's kind of what they're doing. Creative designer and lead director Matthias Leinart added, our goal from the very beginning was to maintain the game's atmosphere while modernizing the gameplay to make it competitive in 2024. Again, the whole modernizing term, it's a red flag for a lot of people, and unless you're trying to be ironic, yeah, kind of stay away from that, okay? The video also featured commentary from Barbara Kuke, Bloober Team's senior narrative designer, and explained how the company changed the story. In the remake, the story remains largely the same. However, the magic of modern technology were able to expand on some of its aspects. Senior combat designer Monica Churum added, the hardest was designing combat. We want to be as faithful as possible to the original game, but we also want players to feel satisfaction while playing. Remember that we need to fit in the horror game or the horror genre. Random Polish words. Post from Konami appears to confirm suspicions that the game has been injected with DEI from Bloober Team, as the video game consultancy firm Hit Detection was brought on, as you can see right here. Jacob Geller, surprise, I consulted on Silent Hill 2, a remake. He's apparently a big YouTuber or something like that who talks video games and stuff like that. There's over like 1 million subs. It's kind of crazy. And he works for Hit Detection. Oh, that's probably why I haven't heard him. Probably because he has awful takes on things. Apparently his team, just simply had some consultation ideas that outside of, widening some jaws and making some chicks look a little bit funky. Like, you've probably seen comparisons, between this character model and the old one from 2004, and it's like, ooh, something happened. The bee stings, perhaps? Outside of that, everything's kind of faithful. don't mind that at all whatsoever until you realize that, oh, the people that they brought in, these consultants, yeah, they're assholes. It's nice and all that, the work that Bloober Team did, that all seems to be on the up and up. It's just, once again, man, these consultancy firms are full of spiteful, mean, irrelevant hacks that will only serve to detract from your game. Because how does this help anything? How do these consultancy companies help anything? Does anybody look through the credits and go, oh yeah, Hit Detection, Black Girl Gamer, Sweet Baby Inc., I'm so happy you guys are here, because I wouldn't have played through this entire experience and then be bombarded with your propaganda at the end. I wouldn't have gone through all of that without knowing that your seal of approval is on that. Nobody does that stuff. Only people that like to see these consultancy companies involved in modern game development are the games journos, who are equally as irrelevant to the industry and the mythical modern audience, which doesn't exist and actively works against your project. So let's take a look at this. Silent Hill 2 Remake consultants suggested the world would be better without gamers. Stop me if you've heard this before. Jacob Geller, oh hi, works for Hit Detection LLC, a similar company to Sweet Baby Inc. He's all a part of that, big cabal. There's a list of about 20 or 30 of them. They all do the exact same stuff. Shake down your company to, in the words of Kim Belair, CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., if you don't get what you want, you can just go to the marketing department and terrify them. That aims to push wokeness in games. Yes, announces involvement in the game, sharing a screenshot to the credits, blah, blah, blah. Surprised I worked on, Silent Hill 2. Not, thanks for supporting this game. I was glad to, have the opportunity to work on it, but I'm glad so many people are playing it. No, it's all about me. Ugh. Given Geller works for Hit Detection, it comes to no surprise they previously suggested the world would be better without gamers. The guy who also has a gaming channel, the world would be better without his audience. That's interesting. He responded to a post from Compulsion Games writer Bijan Stefan, who wrote in 2019, I'm curious, what's the dumbest idea that you've had, or that you have, that you nevertheless believe will, if implemented, make the world a better place? Geller responds, no gamers. Right. This shit is, I think we found something even more insidious, and I know it's been out arguably as long, potentially longer, depends on, when they started to come a little bit more forward-facing with their opinions, but all of those DEI hustlers, I understand this is under the same tree and all that stuff, but just follow me for a second. For everybody who just openly derides gamers, and that's been the case in the games industry since at least 2014 with, that mythical event that need not be named, but at the advent of Gamergate, when they were out there just yelling and screaming about how terrible gamers are dead articles, and then they'll go on to list all of the characteristics of a gamer, and it's basically the exact same stuff that all of those DEI hustlers do when they say, oh no, we just want diversity in here, which is just code for more women, more people of color, and if you can just check multiple boxes, even better. So as long as you're not white and you're not male and you're not straight, that means it's more diverse and it's going to be better. And when have either groups made their industry that are signing their paychecks and are making sure their cats stay fed, when have they ever contributed something positive besides an AIDS test? Yeah, right, never. Another unsurprising post, also made in 2019. Oh, he's really busy that year. Geller wrote, honestly, the fact that gamers don't think that Taro and Kojima as political totally fits. Politics in games means anything about race or gender and nothing else. What? I beg your pardon? But okay, so what? You have Platinum Games, because there's Bayonetta. Oh, you have that, oh my god, that was one of the last Square Enix conferences. What was that, 2016 or something like? Oh my god, I remember how cringe that was, because he came out on stage. Was that the developer for Nier or something like that? And he had that mask on. Oh, it was so pathetic. And then, of course, he got Harada with Tekken up there in the top left-hand corner, and the guy with the katana, I don't know who that is, to be completely honest, but Harada with a gun kind of goes hard. But of course, Jacob Geller, noted Japanese enthusiast, can only name Taro and Kojima. Sorry, the name Taro doesn't ring a bell to me, but Kojima, one of the most overrated hacks in the entire industry. The fact that that's all you can point out, says a lot about you, but he's an expert, guys. In 2018, he also wrote, I totally understand the defensive response to our medium. Guys, see, I'm responding to a Kotaku article, our medium, but it's not at all inaccurate to say that far-right groups are trying to recruit gamers. Right. Yeah, sure. Sans evidence. Much of today's alt-right grew out of oh my god. Oh, you can't say it. See, it hurts. Just like when you say Voldemort, or if you're an elf too close to somebody speaking black speech, okay? I just can't write it. I just can't. And its sympathizers and organizers like Steve Bannon and Milo. You know, imagine still being scared of Milo, even back in 2018. Bro, Bannon had already been kicked out of the Trump administration the first time around, November 6th, by like a year and a half at that point in time. And Milo was already canceled into oblivion by that point in time. So yeah, all of these staunch alt-right groups and alt-right, man, it's been a minute since we've heard that one, because now it's just, you know, and now it's just far-right. But this guy's a grade A idiot. Gamers lose their mind if somebody reviews Destiny 2 without having played 10,000 hours of Destiny 1, but can't understand that decisions about uteruses shouldn't be made by people that don't have them. Worse is a trans women or women post. Let's just go and see that one. Maybe there'd be more girl gamers if guy gamers didn't act so incredibly unlikable. And that one right there, doing numbers, brother. Yeah, man, just your typical male feminist, your typical idiot that is simply collecting a paycheck to detract from the overall popularity and the perceived quality of a game by means of just simply being an ass. Color me surprised that every single time we see one of these people who are out there just trying to make gaming more inclusive, trying to clean up the space from all of those toxic gamers, end up being revealed as being even more toxic than any of those theoretical gamers, or even getting close to being back in the halcyon days of the Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 lobbies. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.